Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been in Gujarat for the last 2 days, uh, politically marketing Operation Sindoor. In fact, he was welcomed in the state with huge cutouts of BrahMos missile, posters of Operation Sindoor, Colonel Sophia Qureshi's family showering petals on him. But amidst all this, there are several questions which remain unanswered. Why did Prime Minister Modi choose to go to Gujarat and not to Poonch and Rajouri, where several people are waiting as to who is going to put balm on their wounds? They've lost their families, they've lost their homes, but Prime Minister did not choose to go there. We still do not have answers as to who ordered the ceasefire and why the ceasefire was announced by Donald Trump. Another question: why did Foreign Minister informed Pakistan that there will be military strikes not on the military installations but only on the terror camps? So all these are some brazen questions. And of course, a Pahalgam terror attack has not been avenged because those terrorists are still freely looming large. We do not know whether they have been killed or not. At least so far, till date, we do not have any information that the terrorists have been killed. So what is this celebration all about in the name of Operation Sindoor? What we are getting to know is that Prime Minister is traveling next week to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar with similar kinds of rallies around Operation Sindoor. So is this political marketing of Operation Sindoor fair and just on the part of the Prime Minister when a multi-party delegation is traveling internationally with a brief to defend India? And here you have Prime Minister Modi, who's politically marketing the Operation Sindoor and taking political credit out of it. Joining me this evening is retired bureaucrat M.G. Devasahayam, who's also part of the Constitutional Conduct Group, and he's written various articles on various websites. Thank you, sir, so much for joining. And I really wanted to understand your perspective on Operation Sindoor. Now, there are some very serious questions. And this political marketing of Operation Sindoor, how would you really see that? Because what is being said is that we are celebrating the valor of the armed forces.
My joining this discussion is not because I was a bureaucrat, I was in the IAS. I was in the army. Before joining the IAS, I was in the Indian Army. I fought the 1965 war, and after that, I fought the counterinsurgency operations in Nagaland. So I have a certain idea as to what the culture and ethos of army is. That is my basic qualification for joining this discussion, not the bureaucracy or the IAS. See, here you just mentioned briefly what Mr. Modi has been doing. There are far more serious issues. Basically, my response would be, there is a concept called management by objective. It's a very old concept. I forgot the name, the management guru. So management objective is there has to be a clear objective in doing certain things. For instance, a military operation of the nature of that just concluded, Operation Sindoor, must have a certain objective. Now, what is the objective? They say it was to root out terrorism from Pakistan. Pakistan has been indulging in terrorism, killing our people. No. If that was the objective, the operation would have been totally different. And the fallout also would have been totally different. What is the second objective? Was it to avenge the terrorists who killed 26 innocent tourists in Pahalgam? No, they have not been avenged. The very fact that they were allowed to come in, 5-6 armed so-called terrorists, they were allowed to come in about 200 kilometers inside Indian territory, in the most guarded part of India. More than 500,000 military, paramilitary, police forces are there in the Kashmir Valley. These fellows came as if they were on a holiday, half an hour shooting everybody left, right and center. No response, no security. They go back and they have not been faced so far. Was that the objective? No. Third, was that the objective to root out terrorism from the soil of India and Pakistan? I don't think so, because they have not really pinpointed who were these terrorists, from where they came, who are these fellows. They say they went and killed people. They
No,
had
they
this
said that
precision,
they routed 9
precision
terror
details.
camps. What
I,
we
and
know
I'm not,
is that India has
I am not
targeted
going to.
9
I am not going into the merits of the operation, which I would not like to do. Yes, I take as it is. I have listened extensively to the briefing, particularly the briefing given by the three Director General's military operation, Army, Navy, and Air Force. I have some idea. They have done something. They have sort of demolished certain targets. But what is the guarantee that they were terrorists? Because the operation was undertaken 15 days after the Pahalgam killings, with lot of noise, unimaginable consequences. Do you think they were waiting there to get killed? Some people might have been sleeping there, got killed in the bombing. They say 26 people. Rajnath Singh says 100. I don't know who to believe. But the question is, even if they are killed, how do they know they are terrorists? So, third objective also doesn't seem to be. Fourth objective seemed to be to do rent seeking, take maximum political capital, blabber, 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 ridicule the armed forces, take credit. Politicians who do not know the ABC of warfare, take all the credit. I named it as Sindoor. Now, I have strong objection to the word Sindoor. Sindoor is not a military operation. It's a sentimental thing. Very sanctity. There is a lot of sanctity involved in this. See, I am a Christian. Here, marriage is a very solemn, sacred sacrament, and in the symbol of that marriage is very sacred. You can't just use it, misuse it for your own purposes. Using it Sindoor. There are 1,000 other names. So you have read my article. I have basic objection using the word Sindoor for a military operation where people get killed. Second, using these two ladies as mascots, I have strong objections. When we read my article, when the operation starts, till the operation starts, diplomacy is there, foreign secretary is there, you can always do the briefing. I have no problem. When the operation starts, it's a serious matter. The briefing can be done only by the Director General Military Operation. There's a Lieutenant General in the Army. There's an Air Marshal in the Air Force. There's a Vice Admiral in the Navy. They only have to brief because they know the technicalities. Here they bring to, and then brazenly sort of exploit that lady's name because she has a Muslim name. Brazenly, as if she has conquered Pakistan. What kind of rot? India is a large country. They talk about fourth largest economy. They talk about fourth largest, third largest army.
Devasaham, what do you think that this operation has been reduced to? Because Prime Minister's repeated assertions about Sindoor, mere nason mein garam Sindoor behta hai, lahu nahi. Then yesterday also he made a dog whistle. Then today, in fact, today is the first day when I've heard him saying something which is acceptable, because he says that Pakistan turned to a proxy warfare, realizing that they couldn't win a direct war against India. So this is what he said today when he was in Gandhinagar. But if you look at his yesterday's speech and before that, it's almost like an open and a brazen warmongering.
That's why I said, Nilu, the management objectives. His whole objective appears to be to do rent seeking, to make political capital and electoral capital. Because we have interacted on the election matters earlier, our election system is so weaponized. He is creating a narrative to manipulate the elections. Whatever elections will come, because people are not impressed. I know the people of India. They know what army is, what army operation is, and I have served in the martial areas also of Punjab and Haryana. They are not much impressed. They are not taken by the story of Modi and company, that Modi did the war, they know about it. They are not going to vote. But using this narrative, they can manufacture votes. They can manipulate the votes. EVM facilitates that. I am emphasizing that. See, they are all creating, and then the problem is reducing the armed forces into sort of election fodder. It is humiliating the armed forces. You see, under the Article 53 of the Constitution of India, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces is the President of India. Of course, Cabinet, Council of Ministers advises the President. And before war is declared and all these formalities, it is a Cabinet, it's a Council of Ministers. That's all. Prime Minister role ends. After deliberating, detailed discussions, pros and cons, and finally deciding, yes, we have to take up a military operation, Prime Minister role ends, period. The professionals take over. Chiefs of the three armed forces take over. Their professional team takes over. They achieve the objective, hand over, and go back. After that, Prime Minister has no business to talk about these kind of things. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. What did he do? And I saw this BrahMos, and he going around in military Air Force uniform. I mean, that's a crime. Wearing military uniform, which you are not in the military, you're committing a crime, I say. I mean, you can't ridicule the armed forces. I don't know how our armed forces people, because Army Act is so stringent, they can't even talk.